Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar today. I'm Ayush and I'm a senior technical specialist at 42 Gears India team. Today, I'm here to discuss the various technology integrations available in SureMDM, the 42 Gears UEM solution. These technologies are crucial as they help SureMDM deliver superior product performance and improve customer experience. We'll wait for a minute for people to join the webinar. I would like to request you to drop any questions you may have during the presentation in the question box panel that's present on the right side of your screen, and we'll answer them in the end. So let's begin. Before we get started with our webinar, let me quickly give you a snapshot of all the things that we are going to discuss. We will start with discussing why integrations are important. And next, we will talk about the various technologies that SureMDM integrates with. These include integrations with SIC, Aruba ClearPass, Android Enterprise, Apple Business Manager, and Apple School Manager, Microsoft 365, Intel vPro and AMT, SIEM, webhooks, and plugin framework. Apart from these, there are a few other integrations that I'll mention in the end. So let's get started. As an advanced MDM solution, SureMDM integrates with various third-party solutions that completes SureMDM. These integrations help SureMDM to ease enrollment, improve security capabilities, enable single sign-on, simplify remote management, and improve user productivity. In other words, these integrations enhance SureMDM's capabilities. The first integration that we'll talk about is a type of network access control. Aruba ClearPass is a well-known name in the network access control space. ClearPass offers agentless visibility and dynamic role-based access control across many wired and wireless networks worldwide. SureMDM's integrations with Aruba ClearPass augments its network access control capabilities. This integration allows users to identify a wide range of mobile devices connecting to their network and enforce appropriate policies to ensure that the device security posture is acceptable. In other words, it ensures network security while business endpoints are accessing the company's network. However, it requires enterprises to have an Aruba ClearPass server. I would try to explain this with an example in the healthcare industry. There are many connected medical devices in the hospitals to manage patient info efficiently. These devices are hubs for data collection and transmission. Moreover, there are hundreds of visitor devices trying to connect to these hospital gas networks on a daily basis. If not secured properly, the network could be an entry to malware, leaving the information at risk. The SureMDM ClearPass integration will help the IT admins get advanced insights regarding what devices are connecting and where they are connecting from. Thereafter, they can enforce appropriate policies, authenticate devices, and then allow them to access the network. Now, let's quickly take a look at the SureMDM console, and then we'll talk more about the integration. First, I'll give you a walkthrough of the 42 Gears web console. I'll also tell you how to create and manage groups and folders in SureMDM, pre-enrollment policies, and discuss on the device information which gets updated post-enrollment of the device. Just to quickly apprise on how to log into 42 Gears UEM console, visit 42gears.com website. Register yourself by clicking on the free trial button here. Then click on create a new account. I already have an account and I can directly log in with my credentials. And this is the home page of the SureMDM web console. It is also called as a UEM console, which is Unified Endpoint Management. On the left-hand side, you can see we have the groups and folder options. This option helps MDM admins to manage, segregate, and configure devices based on different employee locations, their departments and their roles, and of course, this can be expanded. Admins can easily create a group in the MDM console and enroll their devices. Once a folder group is selected, all devices in that group will appear, and you can see all the information related to the device under the device info panel on the right side of my screen. Here, hardware information includes serial number, IMEI number, network information including IP, MAC address, local IP address, and Wi-Fi SSIDs. Software information includes the downloaded as well as system application. You can get an entire application list along with the version name and the package ID. Admins can also set up a pre-enrollment policy on the particular group so that if someone enrolls their device, the defined policies will automatically get executed and admins will not have to log into the web console every time to deploy any policy manually. Now, let us come back to our integration, that is Aruba ClearPass. For this, we have to go to account settings. On the left-hand side of my screen, click on Enterprise Integrations. Click on NAC Integration, NSE Integration. Now, you just have to enable NAC integration by checking the checkbox. Here, select Aruba ClearPass from the drop-down. Enter all the required details. In authentication endpoint, select the Aruba ClearPass server URL. In username and password, enter the API call credentials. And then you can enter your client ID and secret key. You will get the details of username, password, client ID, and client secret while creating a client on the ClearPass server. These settings will be used by SureMDM to authenticate itself to the ClearPass server. The second section that you see here is the field mapping. In the field mapping section, click on download template. Once you click on this download template button, a CSV file will get downloaded, which I will show you what parameters are available here. In the CSV file, you will find all the device parameters that has come from the SureMDM. And even you can define the parameters which you need to map with Aruba server. After, you can import this file via this import button. Once import is successful, you will be able to view the attributes here, like IP address, IMSI, local IP address, and all the attributes that we have received from that CSV file and the device. Now we have to click on the save button. On successful integration, when a new Android device is enrolled into SureMDM, the device attributes will get updated in the MDM server. In turn, MDM will send a fresh set of attributes to the Aruba ClearPass server every time a device information is updated or whenever a new device is enrolled into SureMDM. ClearPass will use this information to enforce network access policies on the device. For example, if you want to restrict network access for devices based on device serial number or battery OS or maybe OS build number or even SSID, this can be achieved using the SureMDM's attributes, which we have mapped with the NAC server. Now let us switch to Aruba ClearPass server and check the device there. This is my Aruba ClearPass server, and I can go into configurations, then click on identity on the left hand side, go to endpoints, and here I'm able to see my device as this is my device, this is my MAC address. If I go to my console, I can view my device here, and this is my MAC address 28:02, and in Aruba ClearPass as well, we have got the device here. So basically, if you click on this device, you can also see the attributes that are updated in the Aruba ClearPass server that was passed in SureMDM. Now, moving on to the next integration, that is Cisco ISE. 42 Gears has joined hands with Cisco to become a Cisco solution partner. This can help organizations to strengthen their security posture. So you might ask how it does that. With this integration, organizations can address network security challenges such as number one, threats that arise due to weak mobile device management and network compliance. Number two, manual process required to ensure device and network compliance, which results in non-optimization of resources. And number three, manage a mix of employee-owned, that is BYOD, and company-owned mobile devices. So together, Cisco ISE and SureMDM ensures that Cisco ISE provides additional network security while SureMDM continues to be the policy-based decision-making entity. Now, let me show you the network architecture of SureMDM and Cisco ISE integration. Basically, the device tries to connect to an office router. The connection request is sent to the Cisco ISE and a basic authentication is done in this step. Once authentication is complete, the Cisco ISE will check the devices for compliance related parameters received from SureMDM. Internally, if the device is reported compliant as per SureMDM, then Cisco ISE will grant the network access to the endpoints. With this, IT admins can ensure that no unauthorized devices get access to the network, keeping the MDM policies intact. Now, let me show you quickly how the options are available in the SureMDM for Cisco ISE. For this, I'm going to switch to my MDM console. I'll go to account settings again. And under enterprise integration, I'll click on Cisco ISE integration. Here we have to check the checkbox like this, just enable it. And now enter your username and password for the Cisco ISE server. Then click on save. Once you have entered the password and you have just click on save, you'll get a message that integration is successful. And once integration step is complete, SureMDM comes into picture. For example, once I'm authenticated with the network as an authorized user, it will add an extra layer of security wherein Cisco will check the devices for compliance. Compliance can be set based on various SureMDM parameters such as OS version, devices enrolled with MDM or not, and many more. Now, you can also log into Cisco IC server and set the compliance policies related to the network. You can also trigger other policies to devices from the Cisco portal. Moving on to the next integration, which is Android Enterprise. Android needs no introduction. Google's Android OS has been the most popular operating system in the consumer space for a long time, mostly because Android devices offer flexibility, variety, and user friendliness. 42 Gears is a Google Android Enterprise solution provider. This means that through this integration, businesses can gain granular control over Android-based business devices. It enables enterprises to enable employee personal devices for work and counter the security risk that comes with it. It also enables admins to create secure work containers by separating business and personal applications. Also, it restricts copy pasting to and from work apps, opening a corporate attachment, files, and links in personal apps and browsers. SureMDM leverages Android Enterprise APIs to ease device enrollment, manage device remotely, and ensure device security. Now, let me show you how this works. On SureMDM home screen, I'll click on Profiles. Under Profiles, click on Enroll Android Enterprise button to integrate SureMDM with Google Play for Work account. We have two ways to integrate SureMDM with the Play for Work account. Number one, with the Gmail ID, and number two, using the managed Gmail account, that is G Suite. On the Enterprise enrollment prompt, select Enroll using a Gmail account radio button, and then click on Enroll. Once I click on the Enroll button, it will redirect me to a Google Play for Work account, and it will ask you to sign in using your Gmail username and password. I will click on Sign in, and I will select this email ID, and I will enter my password. Click on Next. Confirm. And I will get this prompt as a Get Started button. Upon successful sign-in, the integration process will be completed and I will also get a pop-up message in my SureMDM saying successfully enrolled into the enterprise. I click on get started here first, and I'll enter my business name, 42 Cares. Next, I will skip this as of now. Let's confirm and click on complete registration button. Once I click on the complete registration, the page will automatically load SureMDM Web Console, and I'll get a message like successfully enrolled your enterprise. Now if I go to my profiles, I can see there are two options that has appeared. One is Android Enterprise Apps and second is the Settings button. Under Android Enterprise Apps, I can see there is a login to Google Play for Work. If anytime you need to log into Google Play for Work account, you can click and sign in. In order to deploy Play Store applications on devices remotely, you need to click on the Add button. Here, select on Application Policy, click on Configure, and then Add. Select Play for Work from this prompt. Here, you can search for any application that you want to deploy on the devices. I'm going to just select the Google Chrome as of now and click on Select button. If application has support for managed configuration, then a new window will appear, which will ask me to configure the managed configuration. I'm just going to enter here as test config and set the homepage URL as 42cares.com. And then I'm going to disable incognito mode as well. I will leave all other settings as of now and then click on save. Click on install silently so that your applications are installed directly on the devices without any prompt. Click on next and then finish. Now you can see Google Chrome is added as a Play Store application. Also, we can configure device system settings and other settings here from this profile and can push this profile to my devices. I'm going to give a profile name as test AE profile and click on save. So this profile can be pushed to the enrolled devices in SureMDM. In device side, applications will automatically go to Enterprise Play Store, which will be completely managed by the admin. Now, this setting button, we also have an option to configure a Play Store layout in the device side from SureMDM, where admin can use the basic layout, or you can create a new page to display all enterprise approved applications on the devices. Once these settings are configured, admins can directly go to the enrollment tab here, click on list view, click on create a QR code, and then select as Android Enterprise enrollment type, select the QR code name, QR code default, and then click on next. You can add a default Wi-Fi SSID, and you can even change the provisioning setting for the device side. If I click on the provisioning settings, you can see I can skip the encryption, I can skip the permission checklist, and I can even change the language in the country. So these settings will be configured during the enrollment time itself. Click on next, and my QR code is created. I can save this QR code, I can share this QR code with anyone, and devices can scan this QR code. Now, after successful scanning, it will ask the devices to connect to Wi-Fi or mobile data, and SureMDM agent will be downloaded and devices will get enrolled with Android Enterprise. In case we are using Android Enterprise 6, you can use our EMM token, which is AFW #SureMDM. Next up, we have Apple Business Manager and Apple School Manager. Apple Business Manager, it is an intuitive portal which helps businesses manage iOS and macOS devices with ease. ABM allows businesses to manage DEP, VPP, Apple IDs, and content centrally. It allows you to buy content and configure device enrollment in your mobile device management solution. It enhances your experience by consolidating the management features of DEP and VPP portals under one roof. To manage devices, applications, purchases, or content, organizations will no longer need to use the DEP and VPP portals after upgrading to ABM. SureMDM's integration with the ABM and ASM allows businesses to deploy all Apple devices from a single port. With the combination of ABM, ASM, and SureMDM, businesses can seamlessly set up, deploy, and distribute Apple devices, simplify the purchase of applications and content in bulk, configure policies and restrictions based on device usage. So now let me show you the steps involved in enrolling bulk Apple devices into SureMDM using ABM. I will switch to my SureMDM web console. So for this, you should have an access to SureMDM and also the ABM portal. I will again go to account settings. On the left hand side, select iOS or macOS settings. Click on DEP. Here we have to create a profile for the DEP. Click on add button. You can set one name as well, like webinar server 1. And you can also change these settings as per your requirement. If you want to supervise your device, if you don't want to supervise it, you can change the settings as and when required. Click on save, and my DEP profile is created. Once the profile creation is done and saved, we can go to the DEP server tab, and I can click on add here, give a server name, server 1, and assign a profile to this DEP server. Once this has been done, I'll click on add, and the server will be added here. Now, once I have created the server, I have to click on this server and click on the upload token button. Server token window will appear, wherein we have to click on the download button to download the .pem certificate. So the PM certificate has to be uploaded in the ABM portal. Once uploaded from ABM portal, we will get another .pem certificate, which we will be uploading in the MDM console to complete the integration process. So let me download this certificate. Now let's switch to ABM portal and get the certificate uploaded there. Go to business.apple.com and I'll quickly sign in with my account. This is the home page of my ABM account. On the left hand side, left bottom side, select settings and go to device in management settings. Now here on the right side, click on add MDM server button. Under MDM server name, give an appropriate name like webinar server deployment. And here under upload public key, we have to add that .pem certificate. Click on choose file and go to downloads and upload this certificate. So this certificate is added here, and now we'll click on save. Here you can see my device server is listed here, webinar server deployment, and I have to click on download token. Click on download token, and then the certificate will be downloaded. Once my server token is downloaded from the Apple Business Portal, I can go back to my MDM console and upload this certificate, which I have just downloaded from the ABM portal. Click on upload. Once this is done, the integration process is complete, and now your devices can be enrolled into the MDM console. On the device side, you just have to switch it on and connect with Wi-Fi to initiate the out-of-box enrollment process. Devices will get enrolled and all the default policies and profiles will get deployed onto the devices. Moving on to our next integration, we have Microsoft 365. It is a cloud-based tool essential for user productivity. SureMDM support for Microsoft 365 deployment simplifies the configuration of email on mobiles and deployment of Microsoft 365 applications on both employee-owned and corporate-owned mobile devices. SureMDM provides a platform to configure business mail deployments securely on business-approved devices. This in turn enables employees to access mails from their mobile devices without compromising data security. SureMDM supports Microsoft 365 on multiple device ownership scenarios, both on-premise and cloud infrastructure, and multiple platforms such as Android, iOS, and Windows. Therefore, to summarize this integration, it helps IT admins to configure business emails securely on approved devices, authenticate devices to restrict unauthorized access, and enforce policies to prevent data loss. Now, let me quickly show you the options available in SureMDM. I'll switch back to my MDM console. Go to account settings. Here on the left hand side, I'm going to click on Office 365 settings and click on enable. Enter all the required details which you will be getting from Microsoft Azure AD portal, like tenant ID, application secret, and you can enter your username and password, which is admin username and password, and then click on save. Once this is complete and the integration is complete now, and you are done, you can now create Microsoft 365 related policies from SureMDM and push it onto your Android and iOS devices. Next, moving on to Intel, vPro, and AMT integration. This is one of the most important integrations in terms of providing advanced remote management capabilities on Intel AMT vPro devices. 42 Gears partnership with Intel enables business to offer better remote management of Intel Core vPro processor-based computers. With Intel AMT technology, IT managers can remotely power on, wake, or reboot Intel AMT devices, get hardware information such as BIOS features, CPUs, memory, and more. Create a configurable list of auditable Intel AMT actions performed by users and admins. Remotely control and troubleshoot devices. Some of the long-term benefits that this integration offers are boosting productivity, enhancing information security, and improving IT efficiency. Therefore, this integration simplifies performance, security, and device lifecycle management of Intel active management technology devices. Now let me show you how to configure Intel AMT settings in the SureMDM web console. I have a Windows device here. You have to enroll a Windows laptop. It can be a Windows 10 laptop, and you have to go to jobs here. Click on new job. Select the operating system, that is Windows. Here you will find the Intel AMT configuration job. Click on Intel AMT configuration. Give a relevant job name, Intel AMT config, and enter your AMT username and password. This can be configured via the BIOS. Click on save. Go to home. And now once the job is created successfully, you just have to apply this job to your Windows devices, and in some time you will see an icon will be displayed here as Intel AMT, which means that your devices has activated Intel AMT, and now you can use it for your various troubleshooting purposes. Let me show you what options you get if you click on this AMT icon. Once I click on this, a new window will open, which will be like this. It will show you the Intel AMT status, wherein it will show it is power on or off. It will show you the system ID and all the things like power policy and date and time and everything. Next up, the most important thing that we have is power operations. So this power operation, any MDM solution currently is basically a software-based management, but with the help of Intel AMT, we get a hardware-based management, such as if your system is power off, you can remotely turn it on without physical intervention. You can directly click on this power up, power down, and even you can restart them like power cycle. And then we also have an OS power control. You can remotely sleep your laptops or Windows machines, hibernate, shut down, restart, and even you can go to boot control and control the BIOS features as well. So currently there is no way to take a remote of the BIOS screen, but with the help of Intel AMT and 42 gears SureMDM, we are able to take the even the remote of the BIOS screen of the Windows machines. Now, next we have the remote desktop, which is similar to a remote control of your Windows machines. We have wireless profiles. Now I'll quickly go to my hardware inventory. Here, I'll select platform. In the platform, you will be able to see what is the manufacturer of this system, what is the version, the serial number, the system ID, and I'll go to baseboard. So baseboard is basically the motherboard details that you get from the hardware at a hardware level, and it is exported to SureMDM. This is my manufacturer, and this is my serial number, this is my asset card and the version. Next up, we have the BIOS vendor. It will show the vendor name, the version, and the release date of the BIOS firmware. Then processors, it will show what processors you are running, and the memory modules, like how many RAMs are there in this system. There are 2 memory modules, and you can see the part number, the asset tag of the RAM. So in a closed in many offices, there's a risk where employees or maybe some person can take out the RAM or some memory module of any laptop or desktop. So those can be even tracked with the help of this Intel AMT management. And in storage media, it will show the details of hard disk. And then we have a user log where it will capture what actions have been performed from the Intel AMT and the SureMDM console. Next up, we have in our list today is SIEM integration. SIEM is primarily used for threat monitoring, and 42 Gears has integrated with leading SIEM tool, Splunk, that enables it to offer customers on-premise SIEM solutions. Together with Splunk and SureMDM, IT admins get the ability to transfer system activity logs and device activity logs. Now, let me explain a little bit about the SIEM process. The step one is that the data is collected from various sources. It can be a network devices, it can be a servers, domain controllers, and more. Once that this raw data is collected, it has to be normalized and aggregated. So the step two, the data collected is normalized and aggregated. In the next step, these data is analyzed to detect threats. The last step will be the data we have with the help of these normalized data, the threats will be identified and alerts will be sent to the IT admin to investigate it further. So with the help of this, IT admins get the ability to transfer system activity logs and device activity logs as well. Now, SureMDM's integration with the webhooks framework allow IT teams to capture specific device-related events in real time on webhooks. So webhooks offer IT admins a way to quickly find out the changes that have been made to specific device-related events through SureMDM. For instance, admin can set notifications for the charging state of the device battery, whether it is unplugged or charging, or we can also define a minimum percentage after which notifications will be sent to the webhook server URL. In order to capture the event notifications on webhooks URL, admins must configure webhooks in SureMDM, and second step will be to create a notification policy and apply it to a device. Moving on to the next topic, 42 Gears plugin framework. This is slightly different from the one that we discussed above. The 42 Gears plugin framework is for developers, which allows them to build a customized feature. Developers can build and install ready-to-use plugins in their SureMDM account. This in turn will allow them to customize the way platform behave and functions. Some custom plugins are: number one is RenameD. This plugin can help rename devices using IMEI number or serial number in bulk in the SureMDM device grid by allowing you to upload a CSV file that contains either old name, IMEI serial number, and a new name. Then we have Fix the Name plugin. It will help modify device names in the SureMDM device grid in bulk by allowing you to upload a CSV that contains the prefix, device names, and suffix. Expo job will export jobs to an XML file. All the jobs except install and file transfer jobs can be exported to an XML file with the help of this plugin. Columnify, which will update custom columns in the SureMDM device grid by allowing you to upload a file containing the device name, the custom column name, and the desired value for the custom column. Group creator can be used where you want to create, n number of groups and subgroups in a single go. Group assignment wizard. This will help bulk import group assignment rules and automatically move devices to a specific group by allowing you to upload a file with the source group, destination group, and the device properties. Now let me give you a quick walkthrough of this feature by showing a demo group that is for group plugins. I'll go back to my MDM console, go to account settings again. Here on the left hand side, I will click on plugins and then manage plugins. Go to install plugins. You can see I already have an installed plugin. In case you want to install other plugins, you can go to plugin store here and you can install them and use it for your purpose. Even these plugins can be customized based on the request, and if it will be feasible, then we can even add more plugins here. Install plugins, I have to enable this plugin first. Once I've enabled it, I have to go to apps plugin in the taskbar. Here you can see we have enabled this group creator plugin. Now click on create, click on this group creator. It will open a new tab, and now we have to click on this choose file. Once I click on this choose file, I have to upload a CSV file which I have already created for the demonstration purpose. Let me quickly show you the CSV file that I have created. This is my CSV file which contains two groups, and there is a nested group and there's a plain group which is New Delhi, India, and California. I'm going to upload the CSV file and see what happens. Click on choose file and select the CSV file. CSV file imported successfully. Now we have to click on this create device groups button. And once the action is successful, we'll get a message like the success log. And now I'll go back to my MDM console, go to home and reload my console. You can see on the left hand side, I have three groups created. One is India. Under India, we have New Delhi and then California. Similarly, if you have 100, 200, 500, 1000 groups, you can create it in a single row. Similarly, we have different plugins available, and developers can also request for custom plugins as per use cases. Now, apart from the above integrations that we spoke about, there are some other important integrations that are critical to set up single sign-on or multi-factor authentication in SureMDM. SureMDM supports integration with multiple SSO identity providers, including Microsoft ADFS, OneLogin, Okta, G Suite. We'll not discuss in great detail about these integrations due to time constraints, but let me tell you briefly about one of these, which is Okta. Okta is a cloud-based identity and access management solution. SureMDM integrates with Okta, which helps ease the device enrollment and user management process. Now let me show you the steps required to set up the authentication-based enrollment via these servers. Here in the MDM console, I have to go to account settings, and then on the left hand side, we have to go to device enrollment rules. Check this option of advanced device authentication and select the device authentication type as OAuth or SAML authentication. I'll select the SAML as of now. And in the single sign-on tab, select the appropriate identity servers that you want to activate with SureMDM. Suppose I have selected ADFS, then I have to enter the service identifier, log sign-on service URL, logout service URL. These all information you will get from the ADFS server. And once you get this information, you have to generate a certificate and upload this certificate on your ADFS server and get a similar certificate from the ADFS portal and generate it and upload it here in the MDM console. Once this process is complete, all your devices which will try to enroll into your MDM console has to be first authenticated via these identity servers. So it is a great way wherein companies can stop unauthorized users to join SureMDM console, and it will be an authentication based enrollment which will help users to even identify their devices because they will enroll them with the help of their email ID and username and even password. Next, SureMDM works with a variety of device makers to ensure the best possible enterprise experience. These include Lenovo, Zebra, Honeywell, Datalogic, Samsung, Kyocera, Chainway. Let me know if you would like me to discuss those as well. I can schedule a separate session as each of these integrations is quite extensive. Okay, so I have my first question here. How do I enable AMT configuration in my Windows laptop? To enable AMT configuration in your Windows laptop, you need to have Core i5 or above enabled and vPro enabled chipset. If your device has that chipset, you can just push a job from the MDM console via Windows job, and your devices will be enabled with AMT configuration. Next question is, what is the minimum version supported for Android Enterprise via 42 gears? Minimum OS version that we support for Android Enterprise is Android 6. In Android 6, you need to use the EMM token, that is AFW hash or MDM. And for Android 7 and above, you can use the QR code enrollment. Can I use all features of SureMDM profiles in iPad? For using all the features of in SureMDM profiles, there are many features wherein you need to supervise your devices. So for supervising your device, you can use the ABM portal, or you can use the Apple configurator too in case you don't have an ABM license. After supervision, you can enroll your devices with SureMDM, and then all the features of SureMDM profiles will work in iPad. Next question is, how does Aruba ClearPass identify my devices? Once you have enrolled your devices into the MDM console, Aruba ClearPass will get all the parameters from the SureMDM, and you can identify your devices via MAC address. So MAC address is easily available on the SureMDM, and same MAC address will be available on the Aruba ClearPass server. You can match them, and you can even push policies to those devices. Minimum version for iOS devices is so we OS 7 and above or 8 and above will work for iOS devices. So there is no such minimum version for iOS devices. Most of the features will work on the iOS platform. On Intel vPro, one can reset BIOS remotely. Yes, on Intel vPro chipset, one can reset BIOS remotely, and even you can see the screen of your BIOS via this AMT solution. Through SureMDM, can we enroll both DEP and non-DEP devices? Yes, you can enroll both DEP and non-DEP devices with SureMDM. Thank you. With that, we come to the end of this webinar. We hope you liked our session today and we could answer your queries related to integrations. If you'd like to rewatch this webinar, we'll upload it to YouTube in a day or two. If you have more questions, please feel free to send us an email at webinars@42gears.com or visit website at www.42gears.com. Thanks and stay safe.